But we did also have two other things this week because it's a lot.
Yeah.
We have Surface Duo 2, which is, how do I describe it? Well, we've brought it in here.
I haven't, like you said, we've been super busy. You did a lot of this video and you've been checking it out. We've had it for like 2 days, I think, by the time we're recording this. I haven't really gotten to see it yet. So this is my first time seeing it.
So as you open it up,
yeah,
we saw the Surface Duo 1. I'm really interested how people are going to receive this and like try to understand this. But Surface Duo 1 was like really sweet hardware, but then a really rough experience otherwise. Like buggy software, poor cameras, bad battery life. Like there was not a whole lot else going for it. It was a cool idea because wow, a dual screen passport slim thing in your pocket seems really cool. So this is the second one, right?
Yeah.
They've made a bunch of improvements. This is what I say in the video. They've made a bunch of objectively great improvements
like
to it.
Things we asked for.
Things we asked for even. And have realized in the process that it's now actually worse to use, which is really strange. I don't really see too many examples of this, which makes me like step back and like contemplate the entire form factor as a whole. So that's what I tried to go into in this video. But you're holding it now. Do you have any
I'll
initial...
do my super quick 1 minute thoughts on it. The curved screen, I do have to say, like, does make it feel like a little less of a bezel in the middle. But like, you know, I think we all kind of assumed in this form factor, the bezel in the crease. I don't want to call it a crease, but you know,
it's two screens.
Yeah, it's two screens. So like you kind of expected that. They made the bezels on the outside smaller, but they're still huge. So I give them credit for that. The black color at first looked nice. Seeing both of them, I like white better. Now here's my biggest issue. I know everyone's gonna say this. We wanted better cameras. It doesn't fold flat, which I don't even have the biggest issue with. And now I'm gonna do this on video and try and explain it on audio. If you hold the bottom, because the camera bump on the top, it's in like a wedge shape. It snaps into the camera fine, which is like feels really nice, and that's one thing that the Surface has done really well. But if you're holding the bottom of the phone when it's like this, any pressure, you're squeezing it, and the whole phone is flexing, and like that just doesn't feel good, and it feels like something's going to break.
Still very thin.
I feel like even just squeezing it and looking at it, it feels like it's now bowed in a little bit.
I never. Is the flashlight on?
Apparently.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
There you go.
Cool. Don't know how I did that. Okay, that was my fault. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
I get it. It still feels like a great piece of hardware. Like it's too wide. It's too wide.
Okay.
Make it thinner.
A lot of thoughts on this, right? Yeah. Okay, so the new screen is same aspect ratio, but it's a little bigger. It's 8.3 inches inside, and it's a 90 hertz brighter display. I like that it's 90 hertz. Honestly, the software is still so buggy that it is one of the stutteriest devices I've used. And I didn't even get to the price, which I will eventually, but for this price, it should not stutter this much. So that's unfortunate. But the camera on the back, it's way better. And that's, I guess, a pretty low bar to clear because the previous camera on the Surface Duo was the front-facing camera.
Yeah.
It was the webcam.
And not a front-facing camera they seem to care about that much.
Yeah, so if you hand it to me. So before, you would have to, you still have a selfie camera, but you have to flip it all the way around to open it, flip it around, and then use the selfie camera and take photos of things from the screen on the other side. Fine, it worked.
I don't think that was the worst idea in the world back then. It just felt like the selfie camera sucked so bad.
It was bad, right. So this time, you have these triple cameras on the back, a standard, an ultra-wide, and a 2x telephoto, which is not amazing, but you know what? It's real cameras now.
Yeah.
In order to take your photos, you have to open it, and if you fold it all the way around again, you're blocking the camera. So now you have to open it all the way out to take photos like this, which is... It's minor, but it's a little annoying and it's just this big thing. And you take photos, and it's got this UI where you take photos on the top, and then it shows up at the bottom, and it's well laid out, but it's just a strange design.
If you're listening right now and don't have video, what he's saying is before you would fold it all the way so both screens were facing out and it was flat, and you know what essentially is the smallest version of the phone to take a picture, because that's how we all take pictures with our phones. Yeah. Now, because of folding it in on itself, you block the new cameras. The phone has to be all of the way open, which you look like the person taking a picture with an iPad now.
Yes.
And you never want to look like that person. I promise you.
So
can I also say, is that camera bump bigger than the Pixel camera bump? thicker at least, like further off of the phone. I think so.
It is a little thicker because it is a wedge shape. The funny thing about the wedge shape is it is the wedge shape.
Oh yeah,
because it is matching when you pivot around and click it into place.
Pivoting it around and clicking into place feels nice until you realize that there's nothing wedging now the bottom, like I said, and if you pinch that, the whole phone flexes.
Yeah, and now just when you use it one-handed like this, it's open a little bit, and that's a little bit weird to hold now. It's way thicker.
Well, it's already weird to hold because it's way too thick.
So anyway, I get into this in the video, and I'm like, okay, they added the cameras. The cameras are objectively better, but now worse to use. Is that a win? A little bit, but also a little bit of a loss. And there's also like these weird quirks about the software where like I still have a lot of touch responsiveness issues, which is strange in this software. It's Android, but it's it's dual screens, and I'm trying to span apps across the screens. And the one weirdest part is if you span an app across both screens, you literally lose the text that's in the middle of the screen. Like a full, probably 20 pixels are like bent over into the middle. Watch the video so you can see it on camera. It is not a good idea to read this like a normal book where text goes across. I guess a normal book
they'll do 2 pages.
Would have pages on either side. But if you're trying to web browse, you no longer want to bring up an article full screen because you're cutting off all the text in the middle.
Yeah, I guess you would want to spin it and do it vertically, and then you can at least scroll the line past it.
Exactly.
One thing I thought of was they don't market this as a gaming phone, but at any point when you have something that is a bigger screen, like you want to hype up gaming.
They actually do a little bit.
They kind of do, not like ROG phone levels or Legion.
But I have Game Pass on here.
Well, so the thing is I kind of get the idea of like folding it up and you have a controller on the bottom and the screen on top, but you're not really getting more screen real estate in the games of there. Right. So if you wanted to play a game at full screen, you can. Sure. But if you wanted to play any type of shooter like PUBG or COD Mobile or something like that, you can't full screen because your crosshair will be in the middle, and the literal entire purpose of playing the game is to shoot people, and now you can't aim. So that's interesting.
Yeah, so the difference between something like this and a Galaxy Fold would be you still have all the screen in the middle. But dual screens was like, it was an interesting productivity idea because I really like some of the versions of using this device where I have my email on one side and a web browser on the other side, and I'm writing things in the email based on what I'm reading on the other side in the web browser. And you can still do that on the folding screen devices, but it's just such a cognitive thing to have 2 screens and to have that separation there by a real bezel. So that's why I was into the idea, but I think genuinely there's almost no reason to get
it's hard because they did what we asked them to. They even did I think the little curved screen to get notifications while it's closed is a brilliant idea. I think that was a really smart move, but it, like you said, it's just, I don't know. And with the full cameras, they make this seem like last year they kind of had this thing where, is this your dedicated phone, or is this kind of like a companion device kind of thing, like a work quote unquote phone or whatever? But this makes it feel like it's a real thing that it wants to replace your phone. And I can't see many people doing that, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's tough.
Still feels great. Still a great piece of hardware.
I'll invite you guys in the comments to, again, leave your thoughts, because I asked for this in the main video, but we'll also see some stuff here over on Waveform. Do you think this form factor can work? Can it have any real advantage over the other stuff where you have an outside screen? Because that's the thing about all the other folding phones is you can take them out your pocket, use it for a second, check your notifications without opening it, put it back. They have varying levels of that functionality. Some of them you can take a quick selfie. Some of them you can dismiss notifications or even reply with your voice. Some of them have a whole screen on like a whole phone. The Z Fold is basically a whole phone on the outside. This one, nothing. You have to open it. And that's the difference. I'm curious.
How about this? I mean, obviously fix all the software bugs and stuff like that. What if this was a little bit less wide and did have a front screen? So now you can use it normally front screen. You can take pictures with the nicer camera on the back, which we also, I don't think we've tested the cameras yet on it because we haven't done the full review, but we'll have to see. This will definitely be better than the old one. We'll see how it stacks up to other phones. Yeah. You can take regular pictures. You can do your regular normal stuff. But I do still feel like it's not so much that it doesn't have the full bending screen, but the 2 screens, holding a book is still really comfortable. And if you are doing some basic browsing or especially reading, I could see people who are really into e-readers and stuff like that. Yeah. This could be awesome. This is a comfortable way to hold the phone. It is bringing a new form factor But the problem is it's making all the normal everyday use phone stuff so much harder.
Yeah. $1,500.
No thanks.
Yeah. That's the cherry on top of the banana cream pie. Is that a thing? No, probably not. But that's the cherry on top. It cost $100 more than the last one, which, by the way, was like selling for $900 off or $1,000 off, which is a pretty good sign that they're not selling very many for whatever reasons. Obviously, it didn't do very well, but brand new, $1,500. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
I leave the comments section open to your thoughts on that one because that's one of the most like polarizing, interesting things.
So it's been a really busy week. Marques has been here like all night editing. He's very tired right now, so I'm trying to not wake him up. But if you wanna click that subscribe button so we can make more content, so you can when he wakes up, he's awake. Okay, yeah, click the subscribe button. Hey, morning. You know what day it is?
It's still Techtober, isn't it?
It is.
Let's go.
Click the subscribe button, click the like button, comment below. Get ready for more sick tech stuff. This camera. Just, yeah. Bye.